Hello, my name is Eli Wilson, and this is my project on cycloids in parametric form. Definition of a cycloid. So the curve traced out by a point P on the circumference of a circle as the circle rolls along a straight line is called a cycloid. The orange dot that can be seen is the point P starting at the origin, and as the circle rolls along the x-axis, it traces a line. This is the cycloid. So a few general ideas or rules for the center coordinate of the circle is that as the circle rolls along the x-axis, the circle makes constant contact. This means that the arc length A will always be the same distance away as the center C. The circle will also never move vertically, so the y-coordinate for the center will never change. In order to help visualize the relation between arc length and the x-coordinate of the circle, I will directly input a number into A. In this case, I will use 4. As you can see, the center of the circle directly lines up with 4 on the x-axis. This proves the relation between arc length and the x-coordinate of the center of the circle. The center of the circle can be found using r theta and r. R theta represents that arc length covered by the circle and the distance from the y-axis. R represents the radius of the circle, and because the vertical height of the circle will never change, this stays constant for the y-coordinate. Finding the coordinates for P. So now I will shift away from the coordinates of the center and try to find the coordinates of P using parametric equations. Remember that P is the orange dot that creates the cycloids as it circles around and rolls on the x-axis. X represents the distance between P and the y-axis. The parametric equation is as follows: r theta minus r sine theta. The distance between P and B subtracted from the arc length. Below that is just the simplified version. Y represents the distance between P and the x-axis. The parametric equation for that is as follows: r minus r cosine theta. The distance between C and B subtracted from the radius. Once again, the equation below that is just the simplified version. One last thing that I want to mention is a period. One period is equal to the circumference of the circle. When the orange dot or P reaches the x-axis again, that is the end of the period and the start of the next one.